Hi everyone, I'm Toni Holt Kramer, founder and president of Trumpets USA. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love all those westerns, movies, go to the theater on Saturday afternoon, watch those series every weekend with James Garner and Chuck Connors and Gene Barry and all those people that were so famous in that time for doing westerns. And I loved all that stuff, the great train robbery and the great bank robberies, you know? And it was really interesting because the guys would ride into a town like Cheyenne, pull a bandana over their nose, the bad guys, of course, and they would pull that bandana up, and a couple of them would go into the bank and hold that up, 1, 2, 3, and the others were out there with the horses, and then they would come racing out with the money, and they would take off. That was really fun. I mean, the way they executed it was so believable. However, it's not that funny to me anymore, because all of a sudden, with all due respect, I feel that the same thing is happening in a different kind of way, but kind of legally. In other words, Biden, President Biden, with all due respect to him, his new tax bill, which is going to really hurt America, is really like doing what they did in those old westerns, except this time it's legal. It's a president, and I respect him. He is the president, but I don't like what he's doing. Do you? Here's the deal, okay? It's really mathematics 101. Simple economy. That's it. When you look at what we're fighting to get the economy up and really rolling for the people, we don't want all those people getting free money forever, and I think it takes their self-respect away. I think it takes away their incentive to become successful. Yes, giving people help for a little while is important. They needed it. The pandemic was a nightmare and still is in many places, but we're getting over it because smart people are getting vaccinated. I hope you got yours. And, I think that what is happening is that all of a sudden, if you look at it and you say, wait a minute, we can't afford to see companies racing out of this country because the taxes are going to go sky high. If we do that, jobs are going to leave. More important, who is this really going to hurt? Do you know that only about 10% of the 1%, the rich and very famous and successful, well, they pay about 70% of the taxes in this country? No kidding. I'm not fooling with you. So paying their fair share, hey, that's a due. That's happening. However, who is really going to get the problem are the middle class. And I'll tell you why. Because if you think for 1 minute that the middle class are going to be ignored by this ridiculous situation, they're not. Because just think, if you've worked 40, or someone who's worked 40, 45 years, they've had a farm, they've had a cleaning store, they've had a hardware store, they've had a restaurant, and every day for 40, 45 years, they've been 6 days a week working their you-know-what off, and all of a sudden, they think, well, now, I'm older, it's time, I gotta have a few good years before I depart. They wanna sell, they wanna leave, they wanna go someplace and have a few years of fun playing golf, whatever they're gonna do in some nice, inexpensive place that their money that they get from the sale of the property, their properties, will last. Well, I've got a big story for you. If that bill were to pass, and by the way, I don't think it will, because if it was going to pass, and this could happen, I guess, any day, I think the market would say, oh my goodness, we're dropping as many thousand points as we can. I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think they believe that that's going to happen, because I think that all the senators and Congress people don't want to sell shoes for a living. They want to be re-elected. So consequently, they're smart enough to know that people aren't going to buy this. Not in a million years. I mean, yeah, you want to raise taxes a little bit, but all these social programs, all this division, all this racism and division and everything else. Look at the ridiculous Academy Awards. That was a disaster. Nearly 60% down in ratings. It tells you what people think. It tells you what they think. They're saying to you, be fair. You have to be fair. You have to know what you're doing. The economy cannot handle this, and neither can you, because if you or know someone who sells a business after toiling hard all of their life for $5 or $6 million maybe, or $7 million, and they get taxed depending on what state they're in. California, New York, oh my God. But let's say what state they're in. They're still gonna pay upwards of 43%. Well, heck, how much are they gonna have left over to have their retirement? So please, I beg you, even if you live in a blue state, even if you formerly believed in the so-called moderate new president, Mr. Biden, even if you believed him, and he's not moderate because he has moved completely to the left, completely. And even if you believe that any of this is, really true, do something about it. Get out there. Get out there, work for the re-election of people in the red states, because we're doing great in the red states. We're doing just fabulous. We have people working, the economy is great. It's the blue states like New York and California that people are exiting. Help, get out there. If you think that, your letters to any blue state senators and congressmen at this point won't do you a hell of a lot of good. However, maybe, I don't know if it works, but maybe write to a red state senator or congressman, or just voice your opinion out there. Just get on your social media, Facebook, Twitter, anything you do, your whatever, and talk about it. Convince your friends that no matter what their political view may have been or even is, that's not the way for America to go. It just isn't. America deserves better than that. So do all of you, and so do your children, and so do your grandchildren. And oh, by the way, if this all goes through, don't die anytime soon, because if they cut the step up in basis, that's also going to hurt you. Step up in basis meaning that if one person passes, unfortunately, you get a step up in basis on the value of your property, your business, your house, and that's to anything that's a capital gain. So listen to me. Do something about it. Come on board with me. Join TrumpetUSA.com. Come on to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I want you. I will love you forever. Join us. Please. Thanks a lot. Have a good weekend. Bye.